Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Well, you're going to be really glad you listened to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show this Saturday, as in every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., where we get to share with you what you need to know, want to know, should know about real estate finances and changing your life. Our goal since day one, over 5 years ago, is to guide you to personal and financial wellness, and we have the man. This individual that's helped us over, Chris, you've been on this show for almost the full 5 years now, huh?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you, Chris, that we just did my 6-month financial review because Chris is my financial planner.
Why don't we introduce him?
Oh, go ahead.
I know, because he's such a friend.
Well, he's been on.
Chris.
He's been on a million times. Everybody knows who Chris is.
Everybody knows who Chris. They should know Chris, considering he does help us out with our own personal finances and a lot of our friends' personal finances, as well as our chosen financial planner for America's Professional Resource Group, Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions, and he's been on our show over and over with such valuable information, great articles in the Vault magazine.
Thank you.
Love your stuff, Chris, and you've changed our lives because you educate us every single time we meet with you, and it's always great stuff. And again, I wish, actually come join us. I'll show you the pages. Go to donandgino.com and click on the live streaming button, and I'll show you the 4 pages that Chris supplied us. This is the type of individual you want taking this much time and effort in your own portfolio. Dude, you put 4 pages of something we've never gone over again, how life insurance or insurance in general, I should say, insurance in general, plays a big part of your financial planning.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, and it's more information than we're probably going to get to in these 2 segments. So
Always.
we will try and move quickly and get through it.
So I won't take too long. I'll say what I was going to say is that we just did our 6-month review after we did the plan, and I got to tell you, I mean, I walked out of there, and I told you right before I left, I was like, we're almost there.
Yep.
We almost got it all dialed in, right? I got my trust in place, so we got my life insurance almost in place. We got Chris working on the financial plan, and we've got almost all the pieces that we built America's Professional Resource Group to do. We've almost got it all in place. Now, that also tells me that it's a process, not an event, and that it takes planning and it does take execution, and that our team has helped me execute with that.
So you are going to have Scott Zimmerman finally finish your, because I'm going to
I
say
asked him, I asked him last week. I was like, where's my application? I did.
Yeah,
I started harassing him now.
Now
You know me. I'm zero moment of truth. I
2
am
years later.
just past millennial, so I still have a 0 moment of truth. So when I decide I want it, now I want it now.
That's true. You are a squirrel. All right, so let's talk about this. Again, we're here with Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions. Chris, how can they get a hold of you? Just so they're going to go, I want to know who this guy is.
I mean, I would go to my website, ingramfinancialsolutions.com. That's the easiest way. Or you can email me at chris@ingramfinancialsolutions.com.
All right.
Cool.
So let's talk about, I love how you set this up, because a lot of us out there want to retire someday. We go to you to go put together a financial plan together, and we save our butts off. We take, everything we can and put into it for our hopeful retirement someday, and that can get derailed with one catastrophic event.
Very true. Yes, and Gino, you hinted at this when you were talking about, I feel like I'm on track, and part of the benefit of financial planning is having that plan makes you feel confident moving forward, and you know that you're heading the right direction, and you're going to get where you want to go, and you have ways to monitor it along the way and make sure that you're making progress towards your goals. But the financial planning process contains a lot of different pieces to it, and unfortunately, there's a lot of times when sales is the most important part of a financial plan for some people out there. And so they focus on what is going to drive the sales to me through this process. I'm not that person. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to really navigate this individual's financial life and make sure that I put together a plan that's going to get them where they want to go. And so sometimes that includes talking about things that I don't even do. For example, talking about people, what does your mortgage look like? I don't do their mortgage. That's your guys' specialty. But I discuss that with them to understand what do we have here that we can work with. And insurance is one of those pieces. I do parts of insurance, and there's parts of insurance that I don't do, and I won't go into that today. But the most important part is that The cornerstone to every financial plan should be risk management. There are so many things that can pop up in your life that are going to derail all of the good things you've done to plan for the future, whether it's your kids' college education, retirement, whatever it may be. The unexpected can happen, and it does, and it's going to take all that savings and wash it down the drain. So insurance becomes important to make sure that we're managing those potential risks to preserve and save the capital that we've set aside for the future. It's pretty simple. So let's talk about a couple of different ones today.
Okay.
We're gonna focus on disability insurance. We're gonna talk a little about life insurance, long-term care insurance, and then property and casualty insurance. So that things like your car insurance, home insurance, things like that. So starting with disability insurance. So the first problem with disability is that most people think it's never going to happen to them, but the reality is from age 25 to age 65, you're more likely to become disabled than to die.
Okay, say that one more time.
From age 25 to age 65, you're more likely to become disabled than to die.
Hey, Don, you're almost out of the window.
Whew.
Lucky for you, death is more likely.
Actually, after that comment, I think it's more likely for Gino. He may not get out alive. We do have the vault door closed. And I'm faster than him.
That's true.
So most people out there, they have a group policy if they work for an employer, and that group policy covers about 60% of the income, the pre-disability income. But the problem is that it's still not enough. There's this gap of additional income that you're going to need in order to continue to pay your expenses and keep your family afloat. And so even people that think they're insured, they're underinsured. And so the big problem becomes once disability sets in, is that you're going to clean out your savings trying to stay afloat until you get through that time period when you can get back to work and get more income or get your wife to work or whatever.
Drastically have to change your lifestyle.
Right,
I mean,
or that too.
Even if it's, let's say it's 6 months of disability.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what if you're just disabled for 6 months and let's say everything goes back to normal? It's devastating on your savings.
100%. So, and that's where this risk management comes into play. And disability insurance is complicated, and people are afraid of it because it's complicated. And one of my favorite examples of that is that there's two different types of policies. There's any occupation and own occupation. Own occupation means you're disabled and you can no longer do your own occupation. Any occupation means you're disabled and you can't do any occupation. So you need to know the difference because
Big difference.
Yeah, it's huge difference. If you have an own occupation policy, you get disabled, you can't do your occupation, but the disability company comes back to you and they say,
You could work at Walmart.
you can go to get a different job. You just can't do your job. So we need you to go to work someplace else. We're not going to pay on this policy.
Wow.
You need to know that going into it. So disability insurance is key risk management, especially in those early working years when you're providing for your family. So that's one area. The other area is life insurance. Life insurance is pretty simple. Here's the thing. If you are providing for your family and you pass away, who's going to provide and take care of your family? So life insurance really needs to be put in place to make sure of that catastrophic event when somebody in the family passes away. How are we going to get by? And it's not necessarily just the one who's providing all the income, but if my wife passed away tomorrow, I have 4 kids. I have to go to work all day, every day. The cost of me trying to now take care of my kids needs to be thought about, and a policy needs to be in place that if, heaven forbid, I lost my wife tomorrow, that I would have somebody that could help me take care of the kids or help me with my business or do what needed to be done so that we could keep moving forward with the loss of this key part of our family.
Well, despite the amount of income you're going to lose handling all that initially.
Exactly.
People don't think about that. I mean, the grieving, the handling all the idiosyncrasies of an unfortunate death could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars of income.
Right.
Basically.
Well, my income and business would go down immediately because I can tell you if I lost my wife tomorrow, I would not be at my best as far as trying to bring in new business and move forward. I mean, I would be devastated.
Yeah,
and
so Gino and I
it
were
would
calling
take
you,
me a
hey,
long
what's
time.
going on in our stock portfolio? You're like, right now I don't care.
Yeah, and that's where I would need to bring somebody in to say, help me with these kinds of things because I need to go lay in bed and cry for a little while. So
All right. So we're trying to help you avoid laying in bed and crying because you are not well protected in protecting all that hard work, say you put in 15, it doesn't matter how many years, even if it's a couple of years, but imagine you put it in 10, 20, 30 years to set up your retirement for you and your family, and a catastrophic event happens and it all goes away. Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions has the solutions for you to protect you and your family. When we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, don't go away.